This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 914 of Horse Tip Daily. A different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you, one day at a time. Greetings, horse people. Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. Today's tip is an excerpt from the Horsemanship Radio Show. Host Debbie Laux is joined by Joe Camp to talk about fear and choice and their roles in the horse-human relationship. But first, let's hear from our sponsor, Kentucky Performance Products. Spooky, tense, edgy, unfocused. If these words describe your horse, a calming supplement could make training easier and riding more fun. Trouble-free paste from Kentucky Performance Products is scientifically formulated to support proper nervous system function and help your horse maintain a more confident, focused, and relaxed disposition. Trouble-free contains a blend of ingredients that support your horse's normal nerve cell and muscle function and is available in a convenient 80cc oral dosing syringe containing two 40cc servings. Ask for Trouble-Free from Kentucky Performance Products at your local feed and supply store or go to www.kppusa.com. And now, on with today's tip.
Next up, we have a training tip from Joe Camp. Thank you, Joe Camp, for coming back to give us a little bit more on horsemanship. And I'm going to ask you from your gut, what's a tip? What is something that you've learned in horsemanship that you would like to share with us?
Well, yeah, I think my number one tip always starts with relationship first, as Monty does. Put the relationship first by the horse's own choice. But that said, as important, if not more so, is if you don't ever do anything that could cause the horse to fear you.
That's good.
You will be so much better off because this is a flight animal, and we all know that, they get wacky with, tarps and bags and this and that, but it's a built-in genetic thing that has, the only reason that we know what a horse is that fear quotient is built in, and that's what keeps them safe in the wild. They react first and ask questions later. Mm-hmm. And when you do something that causes fear, and the horse relates that fear to you, and as Dr. Miller always says, that the horse remembers everything. Everything mm-hmm. you do, you're either teaching them something good or teaching them something bad. Mm-hmm. And if you do the least little thing, and this all kind of began for me with, Kelly Marks, of course, in England, Monty's super duper protege over there that helps him when
That's right.
He's over there touring and so forth. When she went down, Monty didn't want her to do that. She went down to Namibia, which is south. I can never pronounce it right, but it's in South Africa, kind of west of the country, South Africa, and found a herd of horses that had never ever seen a human, never mind had any interaction with a human. She wanted some horses with absolutely clean slates to go down and to see if she could join up with and start just like any other horse. And it's the most amazing thing. It's on video, and it is, I don't have the link in front of me, but if you just Google Kelly Marks and African horses, you'll find it. I mean, it's incredible. It's an hour documentary, actually, that they did. She went in. She never rides first. She has a rider, like Monty does, because she's mm-hmm. talking to the people when she's doing clinics and demos and things, and mm-hmm. she can't take care of herself while she's trying to pay attention to talking to the people, and so she always gets them up to the point of riding and then puts somebody else on the horse so that she can keep talking. And in this case, she went down there and they isolated a stallion, bachelor stallion, not one that had a family, and brought him in, and we don't have enough time to go through what she did, but it was just absolutely beautiful. I mean, and the way she approached it was they had named this horse Muddy Waters because he would come up to the watering place and splash the water out until he got mud on the ground and then roll in it. And so the first thing she did was go out there with a big old tub of water and dump it in the paddock that they had built, and then walked over to a chair and sat down and just started talking to him.
Yeah,
and he came
that's
over
your nugget.
immediately, smelled that water, rolled in it. He had to be saying, "Hey, she's cool. I can go for this." And so she got to the riding point with him very quickly, and she decided she was going to do it herself. This horse, anything went. It was all beautiful. She was rubbing his ears, and doing all this stuff that you can't do with a lot of domestic horses, years in. And so they thought they had a fluke, and so they went out and they got another one and brought it back, and she let her rider ride this one after they brought him up to the point and so forth. Mm-hmm. And it was exactly the same thing. Both of these horses had completely clean slates, having never been around humans before. They had nothing to fear. It could be a deer or a rabbit or a human. It is all the same to them until you give them a reason to fear. And once you give them that reason, they're never going to forget it. And when you don't give them that reason, and you give them time in the beginning through joint up or no agenda time, as we call it, and things like whatever, to let them make the choice to say that, they trust you. They trust you to be their leader. And it all changes. It all changes.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, Joe. I appreciate that. That is golden, and we will take that to heart. Thank you again for joining us, coming back, giving us the tip, and sharing a little bit about your life and your heart with us.
It is my pleasure, and anytime.
Well, there you go. To listen to Horsemanship Radio every single week, you can go to horsemanshipradio.com. And now you can have every single one of your favorite Horse Radio Network shows with you wherever you go by downloading our free app for Android and iPhone. Go to your app store and search Horse Radio Network. And thank you to our sponsor today, Kentucky Performance Products. Without them, we wouldn't have a podcast. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.